And welcome to the most wonderful day of the week. It is Wednesday. We have new comics for you. Smelly good, very nice. The paper is quite fresh this week.
Smelly good,
smelly
very nice.
Good, very
I'm going to
nice.
quote you on that one.
Yes,
one
you
day.
should. The actual English language here has no meaning when you talk comic books. The more words you can just make up and throw in there, and the more verbose they are, and the more that they all rhyme together, the alliteration, that's
Turns
really
out
all you need
You can
to
just
do.
put words in any order.
It's true. It really doesn't matter. But yeah, we do have a bunch of stuff this week. We had to break it all into 2 videos because we had to do one just for the Marvel stuff as the Marvel Legacy initiative rolls out, and then one here for everybody else who is tired of the House of Ideas. Anyway, starting off this week, we have from Image Comics, The Family Trade, by Justin Jordan and Nikki Ryan, with art by Morgan Beam, who I've never heard of, but it's got a really cool style, very Richard Sala-esque, kind of this whole watercolor deal. But this is an alternate history where a family of assassins has to stop a civil war from breaking out in their city. There's a really, really cute, very large fat cat with a crown on the back here.
Probably based on Justin Jordan's real life cat, Tom Waits.
Yeah, right, because that is a fat cat.
Yeah,
dude,
that thing's
he is
huge.
I owned a large cat, and that was a large cat. But yeah, this is new from Image, and definitely I'm digging the style, I'm digging the feel of it. Justin Jordan, of course, did Luther Strode, which is one of our favorites, so I'm excited to see what he does with Assassins. There's also some sweet shoulder pads in here.
See, I was going to talk about a big crossover event or something, but you just said the magic words there. All right.
Uh-oh. You gonna break it out now? Oh, he's
Strode.
just starting with the Strode.
There we go.
Boom.
It's all downhill from
It
here.
is all downhill from here.
This has been a long-time favorite here at Comics Should Smell Good.
Yeah.
Actually, one of the very
It
first
is.
things
It is.
that
Yep.
we loved out of the Image Revolution, as they
Right.
called it back in those glorious days.
Of 2006 and 2007.
Yeah, man, this is a beefy book, chock full of violence and muscles.
Yes.
Young Luther Strode was just a normal, geeky high school kid who one day decided, hey, you know what? I'm suspended from school for a week. Why don't I just get totally jacked? And you know what he did? He got totally jacked. And then he started murdering his classmates. And then he started to have to defend himself from a bunch of other murderers and his whole family, and then everything went horrible. This is essentially a Greek tragedy by way of superhero or origin story slash, geeky wish fulfillment, and it, god damn, it doesn't move you.
It does.
The
good thing was, though, he did get the girl.
Yeah, he
Getting
got the girl.
ripped equaled getting the girl that he wanted.
Yeah, kind of weird how that works. But it also goes so much further beyond that to an international cult of killers that spans back to the first days of man.
And the first murderer.
And the first murderer, Cain.
That's right.
Big spoiler there, actually. This is all about the biblical Cain and his legacy. Legacy? It's almost like that was one of the stories in here. Of murder.
Yeah.
This collects 6 issues of The Strange Talent of Luther Strode, 6 issues of The Legend of Luther Strode, and 6 issues of The Legacy of Luther Strode. All drawn by Trapp Moore, who, if you've been paying any attention here, is one of our favorite artists ever. He gets exponentially better with every single issue of every single series. And by the end of it, you're like, oh wow, let me just go ahead and count all the tiles here. And then you finish counting the tiles and you realize your hair is gray and you've gone insane. Yeah. I really, I can't say much more other than just buy this goddamn book.
$50, all the sagas, cheaper than buying the trades.
Crazy, isn't it?
It is crazy, and it's in big hardcover. Yeah, just look at it. All right, you leave it like that, and we're gonna keep going, but keep looking at Strode. Anyway, continuing the Image revolution here. Dustin Weaver's one-man anthology Packless, which is absolutely one of the best comics that are on the rack, returns this month with a double-sized issue, like the first one, featuring this great kind of trippy noir story, 1949, and another edition, or installment of the Amnia cycle, which has really been heating up after they went to this weird town, or city, where all the buildings look like animals, which was really cool. That was a very, very weird issue. And Morgan is just sitting here looking at me very strangely, and it's unsettling.
What? Oh no! I just got tired, and I'm just listening intently to what you have to say.
But yeah, Dustin Weaver is up there with Tradd Moore. He is one of the best artists who are working today, and his writing is very surreal, very odd, and these issues are very deep, and they're very, very exciting, especially when he drops a whole big new story on you. 1949 is about 23 or 24 pages, so I'm very excited for more Dustin Weaver.
I think we just need enough Strode.
I'll hold it.
Okay,
you can
cool.
talk.
Thank you.
I'll hold the Strode now.
My next book here is the aforementioned giant crossover going on. Yes, it's metal. The main series returns for its third issue. Scott Snyder, Greg Capullo, and a boatload of badass bats.
That is a lot of evil Batman on
yeah,
the
that's
cover,
like, man, there's like 3, 6, there's like 7 of them who are just the evil Justice League Batman, and there's Barbatos, who's like, we don't even know what his deal actually is.
Is he really
He's
the
a giant
devil?
bat demon.
Like, did Morrison even go and kind of do with that, or?
No, I mean, the implication at the end of Final Crisis was kind of that that Barbatos, the demonic figure, was just this this weapon that had been created by Darkseid.
Oh, that's right.
Eventually, during its, like, after Batman defeated it, it was cast back through time, and at which point, Dr. Hurt saw it and interpreted it as this great demonic figure. Although, with the events of Scott Snyder's Metal, we have to question what the true nature of Barbatos is. It may be one of these metafictional entities that kind of exist in layers through the multiverse, sort of like the New Gods.
Indeed.
Which, given its connection to Darkseid, is very, very likely.
Yes.
But this issue sees the heroes finally starting to regroup after being totally beat down by the Batman.
Ended on a rough note,
Yeah, they kind of got played, and
Yeah.
if I'm being honest, they kind of just continue to get played. Things do not look good for our heroes here.
We're only a couple issues in, so of course,
Yeah, it's got to get real dark before we can get to the
dark.
bright days? I don't know what's
We
on the
already
other
did
side
the
of Dark
brightest
Nights.
day. Yeah,
but-
I don't know. I don't either. My next book, we're just gonna keep the image train rolling here. Donny Cates and Ian Betterman bring you the most awesome psychedelic cosmic adventures of Atomahawk. In an oversized issue because you cannot contain it in the regular size. This was printed in heavy metal after Grant Morrison took over the editorial duties and has been a marked improvement upon the magazine that is a true milestone of comic book culture and just in pop culture in general. That really had been seeing some unfortunate years and lately has really been a hell of a lot better. And especially since they're taking some of the better stories and parsing them out so you don't have to go back and find all the issues is really cool. As Grant Morrison even puts a little quote on here, it's a screaming black hole feedback squall of death metal Kirby cosmic energy spinning straight towards your prefrontal cortex.
Kirby cosmic, of course, being one word somehow.
Exactly, somehow. Well, it's like we were talking about. You make up the words. He made up like 4 of the words in here, okay? And it sounds really cool. But Donny Cates has been really killing it with Redneck and a bunch of stuff from Aftershock. He's been very, very popular. One of them hot new writers they talk about on the interwebs. But this one has got some serious art chops. This dude is a tattoo artist by nature, so you've got some cool pages of hairy geek arms with with really cool tattoos on it. But this is some seriously badass psychedelic stuff. If you're into weird, like, ancient robot psychedelia, then I highly recommend the Atomahawk.
I'm gonna keep this train of cosmic awesomeness rolling with the second issue of Brandon Small's Galacticon. The madman behind Metalocalypse and Home Movies has joined up with artist Steve Mannion, part of Eric Powell's Albatross Press, to bring the story of one man, a robot, and his ex-wife.
And the problems therein.
Yeah. It's really, really wacky, cartoonish debauchery, filled with, oh god, I hope that's not the in-law.
Jesus,
oh jeez.
right?
Whew.
Steve Mannion draws some creepy women.
Steve Mannion draws some creepy everything. There's this dude who's got like tentacles coming out his ass. There's let's see, what else do we got in here? We got a bearskin rug, a purple bearskin rug. It's a lot to deal with, and it's a lot of fun at the same time. Cosmic Divorce, never a good time.
Yeah, Cosmic Divorce is no. Yeah. And we do still have a couple of copies of #1 for anybody that did miss the first issue.
Yeah.
And my next pick is probably the best DC comic that they've published in quite some time. Mr. Miracle. Tom King, Mitch Gerads. We talk about this, or at least I've talked about this a bunch. This is one of the few times the internet is totally right. This is as good as they say it is. The second issue was friggin' phenomenal. Scott Free and Barda have to go at Orion's behest, who is now the new father of New Genesis, or the new High Father, to go and fight against the armies of Apocalypse as war has finally broken out. And it ended in this amazing interaction between them and their surrogate mother of sorts, being Granny Goodness, which talk about messed up family relations there. But it was just phenomenal. Like, they boom in and you think there's going to be this big fight, but no. You know what they do? They eat Jell-O. That's right, Jell-O in the shape of a human hand, while this poor dude that Granny Goodness is starving to death sits there and craves the Jell-O so bad. But that doesn't really faze Barda or Scott. They just kind of eat the Jell-O and move on.
They've seen worse.
They
saw worse before they were 2 years old.
Exactly, they've been in worse. But it's really cool because Tom King is dropping some serious, like, political, behind-the-scenes weirdness going on. You might see, like, a whole different side of Orion as he is Darkseid's son. Who knows really how good he is? I mean, who knows the years and years of being raised by High Father if that actually had any impact? He's still really kind of an asshole. You know?
Well, that we did know for sure.
But yeah, I am super excited for another issue of this, and beautiful covers by Nick Darrington, who needs to do a Fantastic Four comic really soon, because it just needs to happen.
Right? I mean, at the rate that Marvel's going with bringing back Fantastic Four, by the time they decide to, maybe he can draw like 22 pages.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, highly excited for Mr. Miracle.
Alright, and got another DC book for you here. Gonna pull it out of its protective casing and give you the button.
Dun, dun, dun.
The smash hit mini event from DC Rebirth between Batman and the Flash's ongoing titles. Which is, of course, the story of some ongoing mystery involving some classic DC story they published back in the 80s.
With big blue men.
Yeah, it was by some bearded schmuck, and also Dave Gibbons, the greatest artist in the history of comic books. This is by Joshua Williamson, Tom King, Jason Fabok, and Howard Porter. And it follows Batman and the Flash as they follow the threads of the DC Universe's ongoing mystery started in DC Rebirth #1, all tying to the button. Covered in blood. Whose blood? The comedian's blood, obviously. You read Watchmen, you dingus.
Right? Or at least you saw the movie.
Yeah. Not going to talk about that one. But in case you missed the totally sold out single issues, we have 8 copies of this hardcover here, and many more to be reordered.
Yes.
So come in, get your copy. It makes that sweet lenticular noise when you scrape it, and it looks really cool.
And it does lead directly into the Doomsday Clock, which is coming out in November, which has now been officially sanctioned as the sequel to Watchmen, which is really kind of big and heavy, and I'm sure that the pre-aforementioned scruffy man in England is praying to the Snake God right now to come down upon the heads of Dan Didio and Jeff Johns and whoever else made that decision. And I fear for them, because really I do. I fear the Snake God. I do.
The Snake God is causing them great financial woes in their movie department.
It's true, and the Snake God is the reason their movies don't do well. And my final pick is continuing the Kirby theme here, and absolutely one of my favorite things that he has ever done. This is the complete collection of the Demon. That's right, Etrican the Demon, Merlin's own bodyguard demon guy that he summoned and created, or well, summoned from hell, that was, unfortunately for him, bonded to Jason Blood, a knight of the medieval times many moons ago. And yeah, this is just a really cool mix of occult and horror and superhero stuff. This is where we get Tikal and Clarion, who you might have seen in the Batman animated episode, which is actually a lot of people's first introduction to Etrigan. Morgan Le Fay's in here, and you know, the best part is he's got these little fingers with the little like weird things on there and stuff like that. It's just great. And Mike Royer inks all the issues. It's got really nice paper, and this is just a really beautiful collection of one of the best things that Kirby has done, all in one book, to go along with the Kirby awesomeness that DC's been putting out these days.
Alright, and I have one last book for you here. This is... Oh, hold on. Yes? Oh. Understood. Before we get to this last amazing book,
yes.
We have to hand you over to a special message from our sponsors.
That's right, our correspondents. So,
Thanks, guys. Emerald City Comic Con is just right around the corner. In fact, the tickets just went on sale today, which means it's probably sold out already. But you have a chance to win free tickets to Emerald City Comic Con by participating in the Emerald City Comic Con Passport program. There are 13 participating stores in the greater Puget Sound area. You pick your passport up at any one of those stores, go to a variety of the stores, get 9 stamps on your passport, send a picture of it in to Emerald City Comic Con via Instagram, and you could get in the drawing for free tickets for the show. And even if you don't win the free tickets, just keep a hold of your passport, get it all filled out, bring it to the show, and you can turn it in at the gate for cool prizes and gifts just for participating. It's a great way to explore the neighborhood and the surrounding region. We have maps of all the participating stores to get you to find your passport and get it stamped. Hope to see you in the store getting a stamp on your passport. Back to you guys.
and we're back.
That was informative, wasn't it?
Yes, indeed.
Now, my final book, yes. This is from local publisher Fantagraphics Books. Yes, Fantagraphics Books, because they are better than you. This is the second issue of All Time Comics Crime Destroyer.
With the fists! Double fist action.
Yeah. Josh Baer and Benjamin Mara bring you the latest adventures of the greatest threat to crime in America, the Crime Destroyer. Yes, he has fists on his shoulders. Yes, he has guns on his car. Yes, he has guns in his hand. Yes, he's got guns on his belt. He's got guns everywhere, man.
That's right.
His guns are out of control.
They are.
And this sees him taking on a threat of, Lord, what do you even call this guy?
The Ringmaster of Death?
I have
like,
no,
what the hell?
I really don't know. I'm, honestly, I'm trying to save this for when I can actually give it a good time. But last time we saw Crime Destroyer, he was fighting his way through the sewers to battle the White Warlock.
Oh, man, that was awesome.
Who was neither white or, I don't think, actually a magician of any kind.
No.
But
it sounded cool.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, he dressed like a pilgrim, and he was totally jacked, and this comic is freaking amazing. It's all the mindless nonsense that you want out of your comics with actually a strange amount of pathos to it. It's kind of shocking what they managed to do by distilling all these old school comic book tropes and just embracing what makes them so ridiculous and why that's great.
Yeah, it's a beautiful love letter to it. The All Time Comics line has been one of our favorites here since it started. Our only complaint is that it just doesn't come out enough.
Yeah.
It takes a while to
Pretty
produce
much.
such quality. But yeah, that's about it for this week. Again, don't forget to check out our other video of the Marvel Legacy stuff for all the shiny lenticularness. And come in, get your comics, and don't forget to grab your Emerald City Comic Con passports and get those stamped for a chance at free Comic Con tickets, because as Howard said, they're probably sold out already. So we'll see you guys next week.